on the Original Sports Podcast.
Gentlemen, what's happening with you? It is sizzling, and I don't mean tea sizzling. I mean it is sizzling freaking hot out.
Yes.
I mean it's incredible to me.
Unbearable.
What's going on with the weather? I mean I don't care. I like the heat. I like the heat a hell of a lot better than I like the cold. But you know everybody's a little different, right? Everybody's a little different.
I'm a fall baby.
Okay.
Fall baby.
You're
Yes,
a fall guy.
I like fall. Fall guy. There you go.
Fall guy.
You're the fall
Yes.
guy. Hey, fellas,
What's wrong
who
with you?
likes to hit the links out there? Anybody here? I know T Sizzle does. I like
Not
to
those
golf.
links, but
Like I am just god awful. When I hit a great shot, I say, you know, it's me. When I hit a bad one, it's the course or my club, like everybody else. When I blow a shot, which are a lot of them, I just put my fingers in the air and do this. Okay, whatever. So, hey, today we're talking to Callaway Club's Director of Custom Fitting and Player Performance, Michael Vraska. I'm really pumped up to talk to Mike. We've been playing hit and miss for a while with poor Mike. He's on the Pacific Coast time out there, and we're on the East Coast. And, yeah, it's just been crazy. So let's get after it. Mike's already here. Let's let him in.
all right.
Nice. Oh man, I love this guy on
How you
time.
doing, Michael?
Hey guys, good that we could finally have it. We have been playing a little online email tag. I'm glad we're actually getting to make this happen. Always willing to talk golf and love talking sports as well. So yeah, looking forward to this.
Oh, okay.
How's the weather where you are, my friend?
I live in Carlsbad, so it's somewhere between 68 and 71 only every day of the year. So that's pretty much how it is all the time. Occasionally it gets really hot and it'll get to be 78, or in the winter it'll get really cold and get down to 65. But, you know, we struggle through the pain.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
man.
since
I got my car today. It's 102 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I lived in Texas for 10 years. I've spent in the Dallas area. I spent most of my life around Chicago, but the last 5 have been in weather paradise here in Southern California. So
You go out and play golf every morning before it gets too hot for you, like 74, 75?
I love golf. Obviously, it's been a big part of my life. It's paid for my kids' college and houses and cars and all that stuff. It's literally my job. But I am a weekend warrior. I play pretty much every Saturday, and I mean that. I play every Saturday. I'll play a little on vacation. So I'm a 50 to 60 round a year guy. One day when I retire, I'd like to make it 3,000 rounds a year, but we got to work a few more years to be able to.
Hey, I'm a 50 to 60 round guy too, and I only went out like 5 times last year. That's what I shoot.
So let me ask you a question, because you said you like to talk. You do like to talk sports, not just golf. And you said you mentioned you're in Chicago and Texas. Who's your favorite team football wise?
I love pro sports except for college. I mean, except for football. I mean, I love the Bears, but I mean, I won't necessarily turn on a Jags Cowboys game.
Right.
I do watch the Bears pretty much every Sunday when I can, but from football perspective, college football is my passion. I love the pageantry. I love all of that.
Right.
And everything else is pretty much pro sports, except for Purdue hoops. I'm a Purdue grad, so obviously cheer on the Boilermakers and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mike, piece this together for me then. You went from mechanical engineer to a career in golfing and performance director. How'd that happen?
Yeah, I'll give you the really short version of it. So, as you mentioned, I'm a Purdue mechanical engineer, graduated that. I was actually working in the steel mill in Gary, Indiana. Grew up around Northwest Indiana. I was working there, and thankfully for me, I got promoted into a job that just wasn't a good fit. And back then, and it may still be true, you know, the steel industry it was tough to recruit young people. And people with, you know, and that's probably my only skill at that point is I was young and I had a degree. So I got promoted several times, and I got promoted into a job that just wasn't the right fit. And, came home, talked to my wife and said, hey, we got to figure something out. And I literally made a list of things that I was good at. And the list was engineering. I played some college baseball and coached a little. So baseball, and I was passionate about golf. And so this list was pretty short. I was like, well, either I keep doing this or I got to find something I'm more passionate about. And very gratefully, actually just over 25 years ago, I just passed my 25th anniversary in the golf industry. I got my first job there. And then spent 25 years and then the last 5 here at Callaway. So it was really a promotion. It was good money and better benefits and all that stuff. But if you're not excited to go to work, in fact, I was the opposite of excited to go to work for a little while. It led to a great change in my life. I'm very grateful for that weird happening turning out that way.
So you work with the development and advancement of clubs, custom fitting, player performance. I haven't updated my clubs since I graduated high school, coming up on 30 years ago.
30 years ago, okay.
My father-in-law was an avid golfer. So I go to his place in Florida, and he has, no joke, probably like 200 clubs down there. So I just use whatever he has. And I love it because I just pick and select a la carte. However, what are some advancements, new enhancements, the overall golf experience for players?
Yeah, so I spent the first 18 years of my career in club design and golf ball design. So I've got a lot of background in that. Again, the last 5 have really been focused on this custom fitting and player performance. So, the technology has advanced tremendously. I look at, the way we designed clubs 25 years ago when I got in the space. We had really smart people. We do our best to test things. We go put it into CAD and we make a sample of it. And, 3 to 6 months later, we'd get that sample back and then we'd test it and find out if it was good or not. Fast forward to today, and we are using really advanced analytics tools, much more data driven. You'll hear, not that we need to get into product specifics, but you'll hear AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning through every aspect of what we do now. Our ability to test things digitally, meaning, we've tested enough physical products to understand their properties, their mass properties, the durability, sound, that we can predict what those things are going to be like. And we can run through literally tens of thousands of iterations in a matter of a week. So when we get those and then we can prototype significantly faster. What used to take, 90 days at best and sometimes 6 months, we can knock out in 30 days. Wow. So our cycle time is just so much faster, and we're not guessing anymore, right? We do get surprised every once in a while, but those surprises are much fewer and far between. We're able to look at finer details in products, internal weighting, things that affect vibrations and sound and minuscule performance way faster than we've ever been able to do. So, if you haven't updated clubs in 30 years, I really like your chances to be an advancement. But in all seriousness, we preach to go get fit for the clubs that are right for you, but bring your current clubs, and test them side by side, and you'll find out how much better they are, right?
They were graphite. So I was like, I got graphite shafts. I thought that sounded really good, right? So maybe I do need to get updated.
That was really good and could still be really good, right? But put it to the test.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, who are some of the notable professional golfers that are using Callaway clubs these days? And do you think that the usage of the clubs helps their performance?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a huge list on our website. I'm going from memory here, but Yuka Sasso just won, the U.S. Women's Open. Akshay Bhatia has been on fire, the young lefty we have. Sam Burns, Xander Schauffele just won his first major, got that done. Rose Zhang has been, really taking the LPGA by storm. Ronnie Yin has won a couple majors on the LPGA Tour. We've got so many up-and-comers on the DP World Tour. And our Callaway Next program, it's close to 100, and I'm going to fail that test if you have to ask me to name 100. But yeah, we work with them. We help them analyze data. We help work with their teams. So many of them have a physio and obviously a coach and maybe a putting coach. And we work with them, with our tour team, to get products that will make their games better and very unique. Tour players, because they are so precise, they're better than everyone who's on this call now and listening to this call. Can do things with a golf ball that is sometimes tough to believe unless you're standing there watching it from a repeatability, from a consistency standpoint. So, when we work with them, we're trying to shave off literally fractions of a stroke, right? Their average might be 69.4. We're trying to get them down to 69.35. When somebody like T Sizzle there, when we go to fit him, if his clubs are 30 years old, we might literally be, and I'm not exaggerating, we might be able to shave 5 or 6 shots off of his game. We can't do that for a tour player. They're too good. They're already fit, right? So we're looking for those edge cases that we can help them both from a data, decision-making, and product to really get them dialed in.
5 or 6 shots. I don't do that until after I'm done playing.
I can't help you with that. I'm more of the during guy.
Oh, okay. I see. Those kinds of shots. Got you, Michael.
Oh, he's something else, Mike. I show up. You're there. We talk. I say, hey, Mike, I need a set of clubs. What's the process for you to measure me up to get me a set of clubs that's going to work for me?
Well, I love the way you phrase that you show up and we talk, right? Because we view what we call the pre-fit interview, typically the part where you're getting warmed up, where you're just raking balls and getting your body loose, right?
Yeah.
We have some critical questions that we ask, and it can vary a little bit by skill level, by experience, what you're getting fit for. But we call that the pre-fit interview, and that's going to set the expectations for you and the fitter, right? Maybe you hit the ball a long way, and hitting it farther isn't going to help you, but hitting 2 more fairways, hitting 2 more greens, that's what you really need. Or maybe it's somebody like, hey, you know what? I haven't missed a fairway since the Reagan administration, but I can't hit it out of my shadow, right? Let's get you some distance. What do we need to do from that? Or maybe it's a short game thing, right? So setting that up and understanding where you've been, where you want to go, and what your clubs are doing good, right? Because you're playing now, there's got to be something good in your clubs. What are they not doing? So we're going to have that pre-fit interview, and then we're going to get you on a launch monitor. We're going to have you hit shots, and we're going to look at ball speed, launch angle, spin rate, descent angle, consistency, shot dispersion. We're going to look at all different data, and then start making recommendations. Hey, try this. Maybe you've got a right miss. We've got some things to help you go back to the left. Now, a good club fitting is not going to replace, and it is not a lesson, right? So if you still need to get better, that's on you. But when you come to a fitting, we're going to take all the tools that you bring, all your physical abilities.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to maximize those. And the parts that you struggle with, we're going to do our best to minimize those. So that's really what, from a fitting perspective, we're trying to do. We're trying to make you the best golfer you are right now. Now, you might say, Mark, if you're being fit, like, hey, I'm taking lessons, I'm going to the gym for the first time in a couple of years. We can factor that in as well, right? We can look, a couple months, a year ahead even, and make sure that what you're getting fit in today is still going to be good for the near future as well. So,
Mike, how often should I say update my clubs then?
That's a question we get all the time, and I'm going to answer this. There's no right answer. But it's kind of what I talked to T Sizzle about. If you see something, a new driver came out, that looks really interesting to me. It sounds like it's something that may work for me. Take your current driver, go get fit, and in that pre-fit interview, tell the fitter, hey, I've got this driver now. I'm really interested in this new one. Show me, don't just tell me, but show me, is this one better for me, right? And if the answer is yes, then you have to make a decision. Is that game, is that yardage game, is that consistency game? Is that worth the money that we're charging, right? If it doesn't beat it, guess what? No good fitter is going to say buy this if it's not better. So, I always tell people, drivers change quickly. So, if you get much out of 2-3 years from a driver and a fairway wood, it's definitely time to go look. Irons, again, you can look every year. Technology continues to advance. That AI, that machine learning really is driving things. And you certainly want to go to, again, every 2, 3, 4 years at most, or you are losing out on technology.
That's interesting because it's amazing to me how much AI is driving so much of our society today already. Terry and I are both teachers, and one of the things we have to monitor closely is the kids using AI to do all their assignments. Right. Anymore. But that's a great thing that you're using it for in the golf industry.
Exactly.
That's what it should have been created for.
How to use it. That's what we got to equip our students with. But how you just went from 90 days to 30 days and being able to make those recommendations is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, one key difference with our AI, right, is we have to develop it all. There, some people, they hear me say I, and we don't have a big red button in the middle of our building that says easy on it, and you press it, and the golf club shoots out. So we do use the AI technology, the machine learning, but all of that input, we still have to run the right tests, right? We have to input the right data for that machine learning to factor in. We have to know what a failure mode is. We have to know what and define what success is. What is a good sounding driver, right? We have to put that real world data in to that machine learning for that it then to iterate literally tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of times to walk in. So we are big fans of AI, but we're when we say we're cutting edge, we're creating our own because we have to. There is no Microsoft designing golf clubs. There is no Google designing golf clubs. That's us.
Yeah. Speaking of
go ahead. I'm sorry, sis.
I was going to say, speaking of those success stories, Michael, any that come to mind that, whether it's a pro or an amateur like us that significantly improved their game?
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. So I've got a good friend. He's actually a college professor, lives in Utah, a good dear friend. And, has gotten really serious about golf. He's a decent player. He came down to Callaway, helped him get fit about right around 2 months ago now. And last week, and we're friends, so I get the text updates. I played this weekend. I did this. I did that. But I got a text last week, a really gracious thank you text. He has shaved 1.5 shots off of his handicap. So he's taken roughly a third of his handicap. He was a 4 to 5 handicap. And this is a guy who's, again, a good player, but he hadn't been fit before. Everything he was buying off the shelf, or maybe hit his buddy's driver for 2 holes and then he'd go buy that. But to get fit and to really set up his whole bag and understand, he used to have 2 clubs that went the same distance. They were really the same thing, and they weren't doing him a whole lot of good. So not only to get him to get him individually the right clubs, but to get the full 14 clubs in his bag that would maximize his performance. To understand the course he plays most often, the shots he likes to play, quite frankly, the shots he likes to avoid. So, and you also look at our tour success this year. Again, we mentioned the number of majors we've had. Again, those tour players are elite players, but without the right tools, and especially golf ball. One of the things that not enough people get fit for is their golf ball. It is the one, it's the one tool, if you will, that you use for every shot, right? You're using it off the tee, you're using it on the green, you're using it around the green. So Chrome Tour and Chrome Tour X success on tour this year, and getting those players fit into those balls has been outstanding.
Hey, do the professional golfers often have different sets or clubs that are tailored for specific courses or playing conditions?
That's a great question this week. So the answer is generally no. They generally have, you're allowed 14 clubs. They generally have 14 clubs or maybe a 15th club. But this I don't know when this is going to drop, so forgive me, but we're recording this the week of the Open Championship at Royal Troon. So this week, because the course conditions are so different with links golf, it's much firmer. The fairways are much tighter. So specifically, this is a week that you will see players switch a club or 2 or even 3 out. You'll see more driving irons, if you will, utility irons. You'll see a few less 7 and 9 woods just because they get up in the air and the wind can blow them. So, if you look at kind of the average 50 week a year, there's not a ton of change. They'll swap out wedges, but usually it's the same wedges to get fresh grooves a couple times a year. But they're much more of, hey, I'm going to get the perfect 14 clubs, or again, maybe 15th. Maybe they're swapping out a 3 iron and a 5 wood, or a 2 iron and a 5 wood. But again, this week, Open Championship specifically, you'll see more of that than ever before, and then they'll go right back to their standard set in a week or 2.
They got to have some different clubs they play when they hit the British Open, though, right, Mike?
Yeah, they'll look at some lower bounce again because the turf is so tight, it is so firm, it's sand based. Any of you who've been able to play even some U.S. type link style golf course, maybe out at Bandon or down in Florida, there's some. You really have to be precise with your contact. Bounce is your friend generally, but you get on those really firm, sandy, and bounce isn't quite your friend for some of those courses. So yeah, there will be some some grind and bounce changes on wedges. And again, kind of that secondary off the tee, the driving iron, utility iron, long irons, you'll see some changes there in some players' bags as well.
Hey, Mike, I know we talked a little bit about how you measure up the person when you're getting some clubs made, measure up the athlete. Is there any data or analytics that help support the types of clubs you guys are making, the new developments, things like that?
Yeah, and we test clubs extensively. We test with robots, but we do a ton of player testing, right? And a lot of that comes out in our marketing claims. We do some other things. But really, again, I hate to keep pushing back on this. We want to see how it performs for you, and you being whoever that person is in front of us getting fit. So, you kind of have to trust us that we've done all the work, and then you have to make us prove it, right? Get in the hitting bag, get on the tee, get on the launch monitor with a qualified fitter, and you can see the numbers for yourself. Is it going farther? Is it spinning more or less, depending on what you need? Is it launching higher or lower, depending on what you need? So, yeah, we do a ton of testing. It's obviously proprietary, right? I mean, that's those are our secret codes, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, we test extensively. We have it's a couple blocks from headquarters called the Ely Callaway Performance Center. We do a lot of high-end fitting there. We do work with our tour players, but its main purpose is product testing. And we are testing not quite 24/7, but you might be surprised at how close we get to 24/7 during peak times.
So do we got to come to Carlsbad to take these tests? What?
Absolutely not. We fit all over the country now. From a test panel, we do some testing, but a majority of it's here. But yeah, we fit all over the country. We have about 600 Callaway fitters, plus we have partners: PJ Tour Superstore, Golf Galaxy, Dick's Sporting Goods, Worldwide Golf, countless club professionals that we partner with and make sure they have the right fitting tools and training to fit our clubs as well.
Oh wow!
Here's a kind of off balance question, Mike. If I'm hitting Callaways, do I need to hit a special ball? Do I need to pick? Let me rephrase this.
Callaway ball.
Well, yeah. Is your ball designed for the club, like Callaway balls?
So the answer to that is, well, one, we do want you to play our golf ball. So I want to be clear on that. But no, if heaven forbid you play one of our competitors' brands of irons or driver, you can certainly use our golf ball and vice versa. And again, we really recommend that players get fit for their golf ball. For too many years, players have seen what's been used on tour, and they play that golf ball. Now, again, that is a good golf ball. I'm not saying it's not, but it probably isn't the right ball for you. So, ball fitting has really advanced in about the last 4 or 5 years. It was really hard to find a place to get fit for a golf ball. Technology wasn't quite where we all wanted to be, but there are some really great opportunities to get fit for a golf ball. And you're going to see big changes there, especially around the greens, especially on iron performance. So, again, I hate to say it, but take, your next fitting, ask about the golf ball. Your fitter will be happy to have you hit a few shots, to understand your spin profile, to get your speeds right, understand the shots you want to play around the green. There's big differences on that 40-yard wedge shot. There's big differences on a 7-iron between a tour urethane ball and a 2-piece Surlyn or ionomer type golf ball. Big spin differences.
So these are probably dirty words in the office. Titleist, top flight, ping, right? You don't say those words in the office. But
we try to avoid those words. Yeah.
What are some differences between Callaway's technology and these other competitors?
Yeah, so there are certainly there's a number of good competitive products that we're always battling, right? And I think our market share speaks for itself. We've been number one in a number of categories. We're number two. We're a strong number two in golf ball. That's really changed the last couple of years, where there was a prominent number one. Everybody knows who that is. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5 would kind of get mixed up. But Callaway is a clear number two and gaining great momentum on golf balls. So again, we have theories, we have beliefs. We believe we have the largest R&D group in all of golf. We're a publicly traded company. Topgolf Callaway Brands is publicly traded, so I can't disclose too much on that. But if you want to go read our 10K, and you can find out some of those things. So one, we believe product matters. We believe that product is the key. So if we put it out there, we're putting it out there with full confidence for our R&D team, from our testing team, from our fitting team, that when you go into a hitting bay or you go onto that practice tee, that our products will perform. And we want you to test it against others. We want to make this a win. Obviously it's great if you go into Golf Galaxy and buy one of our drivers. We like that. Don't get me wrong, but we like it better when you go into their hitting bay at PGA Tour Super.
Man, you got me fired up. I want to get new clubs, Michael.
Say the word. I can help with that.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Mike, how do you ensure that amateur golfers receive the same level of customization and performance benefits from Callaway clubs as professional players, or are they separate? Or
yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to be very honest and forthright here. We have more time to work with a tour player, right? We're working with them over weeks and literally years. So, but from a macro level, we're looking at the exact same parameters. We're asking very similar questions from, a 15 handicap who walks in and Xander Schauffele. We're asking what type of shots they want to hit, what type of shots they're struggling with. We put them on our launch monitor. We're looking at those launch and spin head delivery characteristics. So, it's a little more transactional, right? Because we're going to fit you today. We're going to send you clubs, and it's up to you as a consumer to come back to us. We're working on ways to make that even more conversational as time goes on. So, again, I'm not saying you get the exact same level, because we see tour players. We have guys on tour literally every week or work with them. So, yeah. But from a macro level, the technology, the products, the ability to judge performance is on par with one another. It's just really how often we get to see them.
Yeah. Nice.
I got one more question for you, my friend. Then you can get back to that beautiful weather you're enjoying out there. Looking ahead, golf industry, what can we expect to see in the future of Callaway clubs for custom fitting, player performance? What are some upcoming innovations you've got going on or developments that you can share? I know you probably know.
Yeah, we don't need patent numbers, but just.
Yeah, so, good timing. We just launched our Opus wedges today. We've had tremendous success. They've already got a couple tour wins. So if anyone wants to go to CallawayGolf.com, they can see our Opus and Opus Platinum wedges. And happen to coincide with them. Here's one thing I can talk about. We have a brand new wedge fitting app that's going to go with them. So go see your fitter, ask about that wedge fitting app. We have new wedge and iron fitting tools coming out where we're going to be able to dial in loft and lie like we've done a great job, but like never before. We really think it's going to be best in class. So good timing on this call. I know we played phone tag, but it actually has worked out great where I can talk about some things where even last week I wouldn't have been able to. So go check out Opus Wedges, ask about the fitting app, ask about new tools. We're going to get you dialed in.
Those are beautiful.
Appreciate all your time, all the information you shared. Just a great wealth of new knowledge. It makes me more fired up to go get some new clubs too. My clubs are probably 7 or 8, maybe 10 years old as well. Not 30 like Siz's, but anything that can improve my swing. My son actually started playing golf a couple months ago, and I signed him up for a youth program that they have. They pay $20 and they can play all these courses where we live in Maryland for $5. So wow. he really enjoys the sport. Yeah.
Now I know something that can improve the game, but I got to get the professional's opinion here. Michael, do you believe in the mulligan?
I really, if you play golf and want to take a mulligan, I have no problem with that. I mean, play golf how you want to play.
Oh man, everyone, mulligan. You only get one.
You need a mulligan a hole, don't you?
I got a mulligan every other shot.
Hey, Michael, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And you take care out there in California. Keep pumping out that great product and getting those guys fitted with Callaway clubs and get them swinging those balls so you guys rise to the top, number one.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Pretty interesting. Guys. Yeah, that was pretty
some
interesting.
Cool stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Sister's gonna get some clubs.
I'm about to. I tell you what, he really. You thought I was joking. He did really turn me on to thinking about. Okay, it might. Well, probably 75% me. 25% them oldies that I got in the back of the trunk. But I got to upgrade. I got to get something new.
Yeah, with Vincent.
I'm talking about the clubs, honey. What?
With Vincent getting interested in it, I never turn him away from being interested in a sport. So, I'll start swinging my clubs again, and hopefully I swing them better than I did. Before I moved to Maryland 26 years ago, I played pretty regularly back home. Like there were a bunch of different courses I would go hit, whether it was Lenape, Vandergrift, whatever. And I wasn't great, but I was, better than I am right now. That's for sure. I'll be honest with you. I've gotten hooked on disc golf recently, and man, I enjoy that. That's just so fun. It's a great workout, and I don't get frustrated with it. That's the important thing.
It's all in the court, baby. Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, just a shout out to our one of our fellow podcasters out there. He's got one of the best golf podcasts out there, Chris Mascaro. Off the Tee, I believe, is the name of his podcast. He's always in the top dogs when it comes to sports podcasts, and especially golf. He's the one who gave us Michael as a lead. He said you will thoroughly enjoy having a conversation with him, and I just want to give Chris a shout out for doing that for us. Let's go ahead and do the social media stuff. Go ahead, Sheen.
Rasheen Hill Facebook, Rasheen Hill Instagram, Rasheen Hill TikTok. There's this new thing. We talked about this last year. Threads. Somehow I'm hooked on that. I don't know how I got in there.
I think you automatically go there from
Instagram?
Twitter X. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
a lot of stuff's clickbait on that, though.
Yeah.
I was starting reading about Travis Kelce. I was like, and then the next thing you know, that's a lot of clickbait on Threads.
Okay. Well,
but I don't know how I get hooked up with this stuff either. I'm on Facebook, X, and Instagram. 1T Youngie.
1T Youngie. Hey, our boy Big Chops couldn't make it tonight. He's at a family reunion. He's got like 16 Uncle Juniors showing up.
Junior.
Hey, he told us
the Hutchersons.
Oh, it's gonna be off the chain all week for him. He's already been to something. I know the families.
Is that a week-long family reunion? Like
it's Monday. I'm lost.
What they been doing? I thought he was on his way back to Atlanta. He's still in the Griffin.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself. I guess he's enjoying himself. I don't know. He's a little disappointed with going back to the hometown and seeing the way it's kind of rolled out these days. But hey,
I would have gone up to be an honorary Johnson.
Question: was that like a Steel's place also? Because that's on the water also, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had 2 foundries and 1 steel mill right on the Kiskiminitis River.
Wow.
And the Kiskiminitis River used to be in the Guinness Book of World Records as the fastest flowing river in the world.
Wow.
Yep. Forever. It was like that forever.
That collapsed like when they all collapsed, like like in McKeesport.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. They also have a place called Numec up there, which was a nuclear plant.
Oh, wow.
Numec. It's in Apollo, Pennsylvania. And one of the things about Numec is a lot of the people that worked there ended up coming up with cancer.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who lived in the local area there, like near that river in Apollo, had cancer. So, they never had to answer the bell for it because they went out of business. But, there was a lot of speculation. Now that river is fished and kayaked, and an alligator was released in it, and it was swimming around there for a while till they caught it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But you can find Michael Chops Mills at The Real Big Chops. He's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. I think he goes by his government on
his government name. He always government. Don't leave that out. Yes.
He goes by his government on Facebook, Michael Gregory Mills. So, hey, connect with us here on the Original Sports Podcast with Mark Maradei and the Barbershop crew by checking out our Facebook pages, our Twitter, our Snapchat. All of those are O.S.P with M&M. Check out our website, podpage.com, Original Sports Podcast with Mark Maradei. And you can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And those are all Original Sports Podcast. A shout out to our networks, Let's Talk Sports Network, Sideline Sports Net, Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, as well as Manning Media and Peak One Sports. We've stretched this out, fellas. We're reaching across
Getting
across
big.
the country now.
It's stretching
Yeah.
out faster than my
Getting big.
waistline.
If you missed any
big.
parts of this show and you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you can check us out on Roku every Tuesday night from 9 to 10. Feel free to let us know if you have any comments, questions. If you have somebody you think will be a great guest for the OSP, hit us up. Please email us at originalsportspodcast@gmail.com. Shout out to Steve Medley for the voice intro.
Steve A.
Shout out to Charlie Hodgson for all the music he's done. And
Chucky.
join us next week to experience the O on the original. What you got?
Before we go,
Oh.
today is my youngest daughter's 16th birthday. Happy birthday, Mariah. Love
Happy
you.
birthday.
And we're gonna go hit that road tomorrow to Savannah, baby.
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
Yep.
happy birthday. 16. Holy cow. Is she a sophomore this year?
She'll be a junior.
A
Hey, she's
junior.
about legal for Max.
Ooh, I'll tell you what. Yeah.
What's her Instagram? I gotta tell Matt.
Oh, shoot.
Yosemite Sam, baby. Yosemite.
Safe travels. Safe travels to Savannah. We'll see
I'm
you.
your Huckleberry.
We'll see everybody next week on the OSP with the BSC.